Okay, and Dylan says, I'm really weak when asking payment for additional services. Always I try to go with the first agreed amount, so my profit gets small. Can you give me an advice with your experience how to handle this? Yeah, I can. It's actually something I've been thinking about. The first part is you need to grow that confidence. It's way easier than you think because some people are born naturally with confidence and some are not. I was not born with confidence. I'm telling you, I was not. But there are a few things you can do to become more confident. First of all, you need to know what is your worth and you need to be really honest with yourself. The websites that you create. So you need to think not really in terms of money, but in terms of money based on where you live. So let's say that where you live, the average good looking website is $2,000, for example. The websites that you create, are they worth $2,000 or $4 or $1 or maybe $500? You need to be honest with yourself. If you are below the average, you need to get to work. That's the only thing. This is the plain truth. You need to get to work. But the beauty of this is that if you get to work, honestly, when it comes to web design, in 6 months, you can do so much. You can go from being bad to being outstanding. If you love web design, there's so much free information, so much free tools. You can really get better. Here on this channel, I cover this on a lot of videos. And like I said, there are many other content creators, so no excuse. Anyone can become better today. If you are average, then you know, okay, this is my worth, $2,000 for a website. But if you are above, if you've already built a website and you know you've helped your clients, maybe you're worth $3,000, $4,000, or even more. And the more you build a website, the more experience you have, the better you're going to be. So usually what I do when I get into a meeting, first of all, before I even open the door, I try to spend some time with myself and I'm like, what is my worth? What is it going to bring to the client? So that's the first thing. Because when the client get in that room or on that call, you are on a different mindset. You know you have the upper end because you know what you're going to bring. So of course you need to have done all the work before, but like I said, in a few months you can get to that stage. And when you think like this, the narrative is completely different because you're not trying to push and absolutely trying to convince the client that they need to work with you. You're going to tell them you think you're a right fit for them and they're a right fit for you and you would love to work with them, but you're not desperate. If they feel the desperation, they're going to take advantage of you. Whereas if they are business people, they know that everything has a cost. So the next part of the solution is when you need to add additional services, you can say something like, I would love to offer it for free, but I'm not rich enough yet. Come back in a few years, I will be. But okay, you asking for this service. Yes, I can provide it. This is how much it's going to cost. And most of the time, most of the businesses I work with, they know that. So they're never going to be angry at me if I say, okay, this is that much for that service. Maybe sometimes they're going to say, okay, we don't have the budget, but at least they know in their head, they know. Just imagine that you want to buy a house. And once again, I don't know where you live. I'm just going to pick some random numbers. Let's say that it's a small house and it's $200K, okay, $200. And you go and find a builder. And the builder says, okay, for what you want, it's $200,000. 3 bedrooms, average. You sign and you say, okay, let's do it. But then you're like, yeah, 3 bedrooms. Actually, I want more kids. I need 5 bedrooms. So just imagine you go back to the builder and say, well, I would like 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms instead. If they told you, okay, fine, I do it for the same price, how would you feel? Would you think you're the luckiest man on earth? Or would you think, man, something is wrong here? How can they offer much more for the same price? So you wouldn't really trust them. I wouldn't trust them. I would feel like, actually, I'm going to pay them $200K, but I'm never even going to see the house because there's no way you can offer a 5-bedroom house for the price of a 3-bedroom house and in just a matter of days, just because I asked for it. So you need to take that into account. Most of your clients, they know business and they will feel like something is off and they won't respect you. So you need to think about that. But it's the way you bring things, the way you explain things. In that same example, the builder should have said, okay, if you want another 2 bedrooms and another bathroom, this is how much it's going to cost us. This is how much more work we need to factor in. So it makes sense. Just like you go to McDonald's, you want 1 cheeseburger or 2, or you're going to pay more. So you need to apply this to your business. But the great thing is the more you do it, the more you're going to get confident. And what really changed the things for me is when I started doing this. It took courage, gonna be honest, because I was like you. I felt ashamed talking about money. But the first time that I sold for way more than I used to sell before, I was liberated. I was freed up from that guilt. And one of the books that really initiated the change in my mind is a book called You Are a Badass at Making Money. And the author is Jen Sincero. This book, honestly, you need to read it because it can literally change your mindset when it comes to money. It can really liberate you. You're going to feel so free after you read this book. So I recommend it. So there is a simple way you can practice your web design skills. First of all, just take a look at what's in your direct environment. Do you have someone in your family that has a business? Do you have some friends? Even though, as I will tell you later, I don't work with friends and family, but at the very beginning, you can do so. Or maybe pick someone outside of your friends and outside of your family, but pick someone that you know, maybe that you've worked for or worked with, and offer them to create something for free. And I know some people, and I used to be part of those people, say never work for free. But the truth is, when you are nowhere and you're trying to get somewhere, you need to prove your worth and you need to learn your craft. And it's good to actually start building in a real life scenario because you get some amount of pressure. And that's going to help you because if you build websites in a completely fairy tale fake world where the client never asks anything and everything goes smooth, it's only going to teach you so much. So what you need to do is get that little amount of pressure in a real world scenario. Now, that being said, before you take that step, what you can do, and this is something I did initially. So I would pick a website that I really liked and I would try to replicate it. Not the whole website, maybe just the homepage. And I did that for myself. And I did that for a few weeks or maybe even a few months. And I was learning so much in the process because, there were some techniques I didn't understand. How did they do this effect? How did they do that? Started Googling. Actually, at the time, maybe it was Yahoo. That was a long time ago. But basically started searching for it. And I learned so much. And then when I did that for a few weeks or a few months, I built up my confidence. And then I could take on real projects. And as I said, I started with free or really cheap projects. But I knew the technique already. So that part was behind me. The part that was ahead of me is the confidence to actually know my worth and communicate that to my client. That's a whole other story. But this is something you can learn. That's the good news. As I said, people see me here on the channel. They think, I've always had that confidence and it was always so easy for me. Not at all. I was kind of shy and never wanted to talk about money, and I never thought I was even good at creating websites when I started. When people used to tell me, I love what you're doing, I was like, I was lacking trust in myself. This is history now. But the good news is that you can just develop the confidence. Now, granted, for some people it goes faster than for some other people. For some people it's natural, but you can learn it. Now, how much to practice to do work with clients? It really depends on the speed at which you can learn things. But if you want me to give you an estimate, if you do the first part, like I said, you do it for yourself and you start getting better, I honestly think that in 3 to 6 months, you can start flying as a freelancer. You can do it. Now, there are always exceptions. Some people can do it in 1 month. Basically, I didn't do it in 1 month. So some people are going to take a year or a couple of years. It really depends. The more you're going to apply what you learn, the faster it's going to be. If you just a constant learner but never apply, nothing's going to happen. And you're going to make some mistake. But more than likely, the first clients you're going to get, they're going to spot that you're a newbie. I remember some of my first clients, not all of them, but some of my first clients, they knew I was lacking confidence. They knew I was a newbie. So they kind of took advantage of that. They knew they were going to pay really cheap to get something that was more than decent, but it's part of the game, okay? So if you kind of mess up on some small parts, they will understand and you're going to learn. And there's no way, in my opinion, you can skip that part, the learning part. Now, what you can do is find some people with more experience. For example, when I'm sharing my experience, I can communicate to you that confidence because I can tell you I messed up. I can tell you it's going to take you that long, and you need to find some people around you. But don't even look just for web designers. Just look for business-minded people because this is a business. It's a passion, but it's also a business. You can be the best web designer in the world, but if you have no skills, social skills. If you have no sales skills, nothing's gonna happen. But if you get to learn even the basic things, then you could sell pretty much anything. Because think about this. Some people, they start a web design company, they've never built a website. But they understand how it works and they understand what the client wants. They understand how to smile to the clients, laugh with them, and then they're going to outsource everything. So don't think that to become a successful business, you need to be the best. You need, in my opinion, to be more than average if you want the best part of the pie, of course. But you really need to understand that a business is not just about the craft itself. The craft is one part. You need to learn the basic of business skills. Because if you're a freelancer, you're in business. Now, if you build a bigger company, you're in business. But even if you are employed, you are in business because your employer is like your client. He's paying you, and that's how you learn. And for a lot of people, we started being employed because that's how life goes. And then you get more confidence, you get opportunities, or maybe you get fed up working for someone, and then you're gonna start working for yourself. And all of that is gonna help you so much down the line. And by the way, if you like the branding that I created for this website, I created a brand identity guidelines template that you can download on my website for free. Initially, it was created for Affinity Designer, but you can use it with Adobe Illustrator with a workaround. So if you're interested, just go to quesina.com/branding and follow the instructions. You got nothing to lose, it's completely free. Now, one more thing that you can do, and that will be the cherry on the cake, is to give this video a thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Just going to be a tiny step for you, just a split second, but for me, it's going to change so much for this channel. And if you want more creative content coming your way, make sure you subscribe and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, take care and stay safe. See ya.